Tell them how much you were paying me, Vance.
How much were you paying him, Vance?
Juan did good.
No, I'm making on tour, Vance.
How much were you paying Juan, Vance? Since he's asking. Huh? All of a sudden, what's going on here?
No,
Hey,
man.
Josh, man, your headphones are fucked up, man. All right, what's up, Sucka? What's up? What's up, man? We're live. We're here tonight. Tonight, right? Fuck, we're doing a late podcast with Juan Villareal. What's up, Juan?
What's up, bro?
How you doing, man?
What's up, sucker?
Oh shit! And who you got? Who'd you bring with you, man? What you got with you? You got Vance V Dog,
The infamous V Dog.
V Diggity Dog Bradford. What's up, V Dog? What you doing, man?
What's up, Edward?
Man, we're just out here chilling late on a fucking Friday night, man.
I'm good. I took a good nap.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So when did you come into town?
Thursday night.
Thursday night. What brings you into town, man?
I'm doing a show at the Rock Box.
The Rock Box. That's on Houston Street.
On Houston Street, yeah.
Across from the Spaghetti Warehouse, man. That's a hot venue right now. Eddie Griffin was just there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
They had like 350 people there.
Really, man?
Yep.
So, man, you're gonna.
Well, they have 3 rooms. They got a long room, and then the big room, like Eddie Griffin, is more like a big warehouse. The room that I'm doing hosts 200, and it's got a low ceiling and stuff.
Those are nice, tight, intimate room.
Yeah, it's a good venue.
Yeah, have you what are you doing? One show there? Two shows?
Just one show. That guy goes, "Hey man, we're not doing anything. We got the 27th open. If you want to do something."
So y'all just did a pop-up show, man. All of a sudden,
yeah, like a pop-up show. That's what it is. Let's see what happens.
Shit, it's nice. Well, they opened up Texas, man. It's fucking keep it going, right? Texas fucking don't give a fuck. Texas just said shit.
Did you see my rant?
Yeah, bro, I saw that.
I was waiting to get my results so I could see my mom. Actually, I'm gonna see her Monday.
Your mom's in the nursing home, right?
The facility, yeah. She has dementia, so I have to be really careful. She's been vaccinated. She's good. And
they do that in the nursing home. They just come and vaccinate them.
Well, no, we had to sign, and you know what I mean. They asked for permission and stuff. So.
Oh, really? And so she got both of them, or she got the one Johnson?
No, she got both of them.
Oh, really? Did she get sick when she got the second one?
No, she didn't.
Man, your mom's a fucking trooper because she caught the Rona, didn't she?
Yeah.
And she didn't even, she just went right through that. And how old is your mom now?
She's 80.
80, dude. Wow, man.
Yep.
And wow, man, I know your mom, man. Your mom's a strong woman, man.
And you see, Edward, since she's there, they're feeding her well. So her mind is going, but her body's good. Her sugar levels, her cholesterol, like everything's good.
And do they have them exercise and stuff like that?
They do some therapy for her, but she really can't really walk anymore or nothing.
Really?
Yeah. She's just there and laying in bed.
So why would she got the vaccine? So you got to go see her and shit?
Well, no, I get to see her Monday for the first time. They just opened it up and they called me and said,
How long's it been?
It's been over a year. It's been like 14 months.
Damn, dude.
Yep.
So you couldn't see her right before the pandemic, and then the pandemic hit, and
through the window, I could see it through the window.
Really?
And then they didn't even want that no more.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Crazy fucking times, dude.
Yep.
And damn, man.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're gonna get to go see her? Is there anything that can you take her shit?
Yeah, I'm gonna take her some magazines and some. She likes blouses because we were buying her like pajama sets and stuff like that because she sleeps a lot, but. They get dressed up, man. Like, they get dressed up. Like, I have her nails done, and they give her haircuts and stuff like that. And they go to, like, the living room, and they play bingo. And then the lady, I told her, my mom says, yeah, we went, but they gave us cookies and crackers. And so the lady made some money, like paper money, like Monopoly money. So you win money now, and you can take that money and buy you some trees and buy you some stuff. So now they feel like they're winning.
Oh, shit. Now the people are going to start getting shanked, and there's going to be little cliques. That's how the mob started, a nursing home mob. They're going to be they're going to be
and then they called me and said, what do you, your mom has a lot of money because they can't keep.
Mom's got a lot of money.
Yeah, because.
Can you buy Bitcoin with it, dude? That's what you need to find out, dude.
Look, because, she's been there for a while. They give her $60 a month. Okay.
Who gives her 60? The nursing?
The nursing home.
Really?
For her, yeah.
And they have like a commissary in the nursing home where they.
Well, no, that's for us, like, to buy her things that she needs: clothes, TVs, DVD players, whatever she wants. But she don't want any of that. She don't want nothing. She just I said,
give a
Mom, do you
shit.
want a photo album? Do you want this? She goes, nah, I mean, why I want to look at photos and just get sad?
Really?
I'm like, fuck it, okay.
Fuck it, man.
So she likes the Inquirer and stuff, magazines like that, and
Cheeseman.
Cheeseman, she loves that stuff. Dude.
Cheeseman, the novellas and shit like
Yeah.
that. Is her shit, huh? Old Mexican ladies. Yeah, I imagine that. I watched General
but
Hospital.
she's been
as a
there for
little
4
kid.
years getting $60 and we haven't used it. And then she got all the stimulus and then this and she's got like 14,000, 15,000 in the bank. They're like, what do you want to do with this? I'm like, I don't want none of that stuff. So the lady that's worked there, her name is Mary. She's the one to help get my mom there. She's like, do you want to start a funeral fund? And I'm like, yeah, like my mom made it clear that she wants to be cremated. And she goes, yeah, but like, what do you want to do with this money? I'm like, well, I don't want it. I don't want none of that stuff.
Dude, this dude was telling me the other day, I think it was a tattoo artist. I forgot who it was. He was kind of bragging to me that his brother had bought everyone in the family funeral plots. And I was like, I guess that's cool. I mean, those are what, like about $10,000 or something to buy your spot to be buried in or some shit?
Yep.
I guess it's crazy what people are thinking about doing right now with all this pandemic, man. Speaking of that, this is your 29-year fucking anniversary in comedy, man.
29 years, bro.
29 motherfucking years in comedy. Damn, dude, 29. So you started in 92?
92, March of 92.
March of 92.
Yep.
Shit.
And
Where at?
October of 92, I was on TV. I was already on BET. And
March, April, May, June, July.
9 months later.
Damn, dude. And who? But Vance had something to do with that, didn't he?
No, Vance was looking for me. He was just trying to find me. Like,
That's the story, yeah.
Okay, so what do you mean? Wasn't Vance your manager?
yes.
Okay, but
We're still.
Okay, he is your man, but how did that happen? How did y'all meet?
Well, I went to, when I first started, my first time, it was at the Laugh Stop. And I did about.
Where, in Houston?
In Houston, Texas.
Okay.
And that's what was Ralphie May and Caroline and Rob Mungle.
Caroline Picard?
Yeah. So there was a lot of people. So I went from there, and then I found out.
Bill Hicks?
Well, yeah, they were all. Well, they were at the workshop. They were somewhere else. It was before me, by 4 or 5 years before me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went there. Then I got to host the open mic because I did 4 different sets. So I did 3 different sets.
What made you want to do? How old were you?
I was 25.
And you just said, or was everyone telling you should do comedy, or did you tell yourself?
When I worked security, my partner that I would ride along with, he would, because I would fix hostile situations sometimes with Joe. It's stupid, you're gonna go to jail, this whatever, and nombre way in Spanish, and we would just, we had our guns, we were commissioned, the cops were on our side, we had a lot of power, and I was a young kid, dude, 22, 23, and getting all that respect, and it was cool. You fight a little bit, but then you don't want to hurt nobody no more because, most of these people went there to party at a club or drinking and stuff, and then they get, a little drunk and
just do something stupid.
Yeah, I want to fight and stuff, and then they don't get it. Like, sometimes we had to cuff them, and then once we cuff them as a security guard, we can't let them go. That can only be done by a magistrate or a peace officer.
What do you mean? Just because you cuff them, you can't go, all right, dude, you chill now.
Oh, no. If a security guard ever handcuffs you, and uncuffs you, bro, you got a lawsuit. That's what shut down like 3 of our companies.
Oh, because you say he detained me illegally or whatever.
False arrest, whatever. Dude, I had to go and replace these guards because they were going to jail. They were in the back of the cop car. What I do? I was trying to be nice. Like, you can't fucking cuff somebody and uncuff them. Only a cop.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never knew that shit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I've ever been cuffed, man. I've had the shit beat out of me. So if they just beat the shit out of you without cuffing you, that's cool.
Kind of.
Yeah, because I had the security guard stomp on my head, dude, until like I was knocking out, dude. A rock even was stuck in my ear.
That's
the cops. SAPD was there, and they were like, "All right, that's enough." They let him fucking whoop my ass because I hit him in the face with the drink.
Well, I worked sometimes at apartments. Okay, the security guard can come in your apartment whenever you want. I don't know if you know that or not, because he's like the third-party manager, like the owner.
If it's a security guard from those apartments.
Yeah, if the owner hires me, then I can just kick down your door and go, and cops ain't going to do shit. So sometimes the cops we're looking for somebody.
I don't know. Y'all might want to research this shit.
Re-
Security
research-
guards before you start kicking down apartment doors out right now. Like,
listen.
some people might be going, "Oh shit, really?"
Listen, so I'm working on at this property, and then I told the officers like, look, man, this guy I don't really want to cuff him, man. I didn't want to detain him, whatever. I can let him go, do whatever. And they asked me like, why didn't you let him go? And I said, well, I'm not a magistrate. I'm not a piece. I was like, did you go to school for this? I'm like, yeah, I went to 4 years, 4 months. I'm sorry. I took the 4-month course and stuff. So I was commissioned and do all the training and stuff. So then they were cool with me. So he goes, so you know all the rules? I'm like, yep. I know all the laws, articles, penal codes. I know all that. And I was studying, dude. You working 12 hours, so there was no phones or none of that shit. You just read. So I would read a whole lot and walk around. So I learned all of those stuff. So yeah. And sometimes cops would pick me up at my property and take me to another property that we had a contract with for me to kick down the door because they couldn't do it. They're like, go, Juan. So I would kick down the door, and then they would go in there and grab the bad guys.
Oh, you're a piece of shit. They fucking kicked in my door, dude. Fucking that shit sucked, dude.
Yeah.
But
But for a security guard to do it, I was making
the sheriff did my door.
Yeah,
They
that's
didn't
what
get
I'm
no
saying.
security guard to do it.
I know, and I was like, fucker, why don't y'all? I'm making $3.35 an hour, bro.
I'd be looking for that security guard fucking rolling around my apartment, dude. He fucking kicked in my door and had all these motherfuckers in.
While I worked security for almost 5 years, at least 60 of our guards went to jail. Like at least 60.
Yeah,
of them.
your security guard is just a job, you know. I mean, well,
Bro, you have a security guard has the same rights as you. You can arrest a security guard.
yeah.
You can.
And a cop is a little bit
The
more.
the only thing a security guard do is like a citizen's arrest, but because they got the uniform and this and that, it makes it look like
Did I tell you what happened to me recently with the security guard?
Nah.
Motherfuckers. I was at HEB and I went to get like hamburger buns, and I drove up and I parked at one end. It was like 3:30 in the afternoon. I parked at one end, and in the middle of the parking lot, which is a big ass parking lot, so 5 lanes away, there's a fucking blazer that says canine unit. And I'm like, that's like, is that a dude rolling through that happened to have a canine? What's a fucking canine unit just hanging out at HEB? It's a security guard. Anyway, I have my little pipe, I have a little one hitter, and I take a hit before I go into HEB, as you should before you go into a grocery store. So I go in there and I fucking buy a few things, and I'm in there like 10 minutes, and I come out. Where I fucked up is I cracked my windows a little bit after I took the hit, and then I was walking in my car and I did my alarm, boop, boop, and right when I did that, I noticed the cop was right behind, that security dude was right behind me, and these motherfuckers look like they're SWAT, bro. This dude's got a bulletproof vest. He's got a grenade. He's fucking got handcuffs. He's got fucking all these fucking magazines. He's got a fucking thing over his shoulder with night vision and shit. And he was like, man, is that your car? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, you want to tell me why it smells so strongly of marijuana? And right when he said that, I patted myself, and I had my weed in my pocket still. And I was like, this motherfucker got me, dude. I was just like, ah. And so I said, you know what? I said,
that's a security guard?
Yes. I go, because I smoke weed. And he goes, well, you know what? I can arrest you if you got more weed and all this shit. And so I said, nah, bro. And I opened the door. I said, dude, I live right here, man. I ain't no fucking thug. Here's my little pipe. And I go, there's your big bust. And I gave it to him. And he goes, give me your ID. And he started getting my information from my ID. And at that time, then I got the weed out of my pocket and I hid it in the Lunchable that I had on the girl. So now the HEB's got weed in the Lunchables, as far as I know. That has nothing to do with me, dude. So I was just like, fuck. I was just waiting there. And then he goes, man, if you come back over here, I can arrest you for trespassing. I was like, bro, I live right here in the neighborhood. We just moved here. I said, I'm coming back to this HEB, dude. I'm not driving across town. Yeah. We're in the middle of a fucking pandemic, bro. And I'm no thug, dude. I live right here. It's a nice fucking neighborhood. And he was like, well, I can arrest you. Okay, well, I said, take care of your business, bro. Just take care of your business. I'll take care of mine. And he took my pipe. And I was like, lucky I have another one at home.
That wasn't a security guard, Edward.
It was a security guard. They're security guards. They have a contract. My girl looked it up, and they have a contract, that K9 with HEB to check it out. and when he was done with me, these people walked up and were standing there holding their groceries because they were parked right next to us, a young couple. And they had a minivan, and the back window was busted out of their minivan. It was like a ghetto minivan, and they were standing there with their groceries waiting. As soon as he told me that he was going to arrest me if I come back, he turned around and told them, "Is this your vehicle?" And they were like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You can't be here with a broken window. That's a security risk." And he just started lecturing them about there being a security risk. And I just got in my car and drove off. And this dude was like 25, 26 years
Yeah,
old.
kid.
Yeah, I was like, hurry up and become a cop and beat someone up and get kicked off the fucking force, motherfucker.
Bro, if
Like-
if you dress like that and you're a security guard in Houston,
See?
the cops will arrest you, bro.
Yeah, and
The cops, you look too much like a cop. They made us change our uniforms. That's why the security guard uniforms it's gotta say security.
well, I mean, it
So-
might say it on there, but the
Yeah.
motherfucker looks like you're not like just looking all over at him.
That's what I'm
He's-
saying, bro. That's got to be a peace officer or something, because if a cop saw that fucker like that, he'll go to jail. That's
They see him out there every day.
what I'm saying. So
He
he must be a peace officer or something, dude. That's not a security guard, bro.
He's a security guard. It's a security company.
It's like my wife when they have at Verizon, they got a cop there working security, but it's a cop. He's got a shirt that says security, but he's a HPD
yeah, well,
officer.
those are off-duty cops.
Yeah.
Security. What's that's in Lincoln Heights, motherfucker? No wonder. Motherfucker, show mine.
See, Seal's a good company, so
Motherfucker, I can't even forget to put the weed in,
No,
you know.
yeah.
Like, I'm worried that dog's looking at me like, I'm like, I'm buying Lunchables. I come out of there with Lunchables, Funyuns, fucking soda. The dog's looking. He ain't even looking at, smelling me. He's looking at the shit I just bought at my eyes.
Guilty.
Yeah, this dog's a snitch. We need to fucking get rid of him.
man.
That's why we need.
That was the HEB by my house, and the reason they did that is they tried to kidnap this lady's baby in front of her.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah,
but you know what? Some babies are bad. Some. I'm just saying.
Shit.
But we went way
Yeah,
off track. Now we
yeah.
went way off track. Juan,
That's
let
your
Juan.
security guard
Yeah,
life,
Juan was
man.
driving. He just took off. Look a dirt road. And he
Nah,
no.
but I started
Okay.
at the laugh
He
stop.
started at the laugh stop.
Yeah. And I performed there, and then the guy told me, like,
Like, what do you mean you just said?
I went up there and I signed the list. You just signed the list.
And your first time you just said, I'm going up there. And what did
Yeah.
you talk about?
Actually, my first time was crazy, bro, because I drank a 40 ounce. I don't drink. So I'm like, what am I going to talk about? So I put on some spandex shorts, and I put a towel, and I put like a big dick. And I went up there with a windbreaker. And I said, and look.
Which
right-
everyone
right-
should do
right-
the
right-
very first time they do
Oh,
comedy.
dude.
Wow.
And
Everyone should do
and
this.
what made it funnier was every comic was telling me, try not to cuss, try not to be dirty, try not. I was already,
you with the big old fake dick. In
I was just looking at them going like, all right, but they weren't getting laughs, like whatever. I went up there and said, I'm here to talk about problems of a big dick. Man, the fucking room exploded. I said, no, you can't get no good head to see this dick. Like, man, can you put this thing in your mouth? You can't put this whole thing in your mouth. Like, yeah, you have stretch marks and shit. And I was doing that, dude. It was so gross. I did the grossest set, but I got a standing O. So then I'm like, fuck, I'm
that
going
was
back.
your very first time on
That
set?
was my very first time, dude. My very first time. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it again. And then
I'm gonna do
during the week, yeah, I was like, no. I was like, I'm gonna write some comedy. I mean, that was kind of stupid. I feel stupid afterwards, but it killed. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write some comedy. And I saw the news. Bro. And what do you call it? I saw the flood people, and I'm like, oh, I'll make fun of
Saw
them.
the flood people.
Yeah, people that got flooded and they never
In
moved.
Houston?
No, all over.
Oh, just
yeah.
all over the world.
Yeah, and then I made fun of them the next week, and the fucking crowd loved it.
What did you say about them?
I just said, man, these fuckers, they get flooded like every year. Every fucking year, and they never move. The same guy. So what are you going to do this year? Oh, we going to stick around, let it dry up. Like, but isn't that your house like floating over there? Is that your kids? Are they chasing it? yeah, the Hendersons floated away, man. We're going to take them 2 acres they left behind. And we're going to anchor it down, boys. Anchor it down. And it's like, they don't ever ask Mexicans there, like, what are you going to do? And shit, we're going to move, bitch. Look at all this shit. We can't cut grass in the water. You think we're under it? What, do I look like Flipper? Do I look like Flipper? And then I say, oh, I'm a wetback, right? I get it. I'm a wetback. And they would fucking go crazy. Because back then you could say wetback and they would just.
You can say wetback.
Yeah. Bro, that's a bad word now. Like, I mean.
And so,
like,
so you went on like doing that set, and
I
you
did-
quit.
I
You
did-
quit. You
I
quit
did-
wearing
I
the
did-
spandex.
Oh, yeah. I went and just.
You
normal-
still were wearing the spandex.
No.
You did that like a couple of times and then stopped.
No, I did that the first time.
Oh, and that was it.
Yeah. I was like, I don't need all that shit. I can make these watch this. And, you know, being security, when you take care of the whole scene, you're always the one talking. So I wasn't afraid to fucking speak because I was like, bro, they pay you for this shit. I'm going to make it. They're going to pay me. And like, for talking. He goes, but what happens if you suck? Like, they go, if you suck, they go, boo. Because, you know, we had little Mexicans trying to stab us, break bottles. Security was rough. So this was nothing to us. Oh, if they don't like it, they just go, boo. Fuck that shit. And then, what do you call it? I did that. I did 3 different sets, and then the guy at the door.
How much time were you doing? 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. And then Steve Oasis said, hey, he's like, come here. He's like, how long you been doing comedy? And I said, 3 weeks. And he's like, no, how long have you been doing it? And I'm like,
3 weeks.
like 3 weeks. Like, so how many times have you been on stage? I said 3 times. He goes, you can't write 5 minutes every week. And I was like, oh, I'm supposed to write this shit down? Like, I'm sorry. He goes, you know what? I want you to host next week. So the host gets to go up and do like 10 minutes and then bring up everybody, but just bring them straight up. So I did the 10 minutes, and then I would do like 30 seconds, 40 seconds in between comic. And then I brought up everybody as fucker. Okay, this next fucker. And dude, I can't believe they let me slide. Like, nobody fucking punched me because we had people that been on TV and that traveled, and they were professional comedians, and they, you know, had assistants and agents and everything. And they would come by to work on their material, and they would bump people. And they're like, hey, I'm on TV. I'm a professional comedian. I'm not an open micer.
Don't call me fucker.
You will not bring me up as fucker. I'm like, okay. And I go, okay, this next fucker, he's on TV. He's famous. He's got an agent. All this shit. And then he tells me over there, hey, I'm not like these dudes. So he's not like y'all. This fucker's on another level. But I don't know him, but he's here. He's not like y'all, but he's going to be right here. Okay. Okay, fucker, you ready? I forgot his name. Come on, fucker. And, bro, these fuckers did not like me, dude. They did not like me.
And they kept you hosting, though?
No, after that, the owner says, hey, man, do you want to work? Do you want to do a guest spot in front of a paid audience, whatever? And I was like, yeah. And it was sold out. I forgot what star was there, but it was some big star, and I fucking killed it. I did 7 minutes and killed it. And then he booked me the next week. And then that's when Derek Ellis went there one time, and he goes, I'm going to the hip hop. It was at the Ramada Inn at the time on Cross Timbers. And what do you call it? Like, what's that? Like, I told him, hey, dude, there's a hip hop. And he goes, oh, yeah.
When there's a hip hop. That was
the hip hop comedy stop.
Oh, that was
That
it
was
was
the
called
main,
the hip hop comedy stop.
Yep.
That wasn't a night there. That was
No,
the
that
place.
that was the club. And then 4 shows a weekend.
It was a black club.
Yeah. It was owned by Rushion McDonald, J. Anthony Brown, and Steve Harvey. And David Raybon played a big part in it.
And it was like just black comedians.
Yeah, it was just like me. I was like the first Mexican that went in there, and my fault. I got there early. They said the show starts at 8 and 10. I got there like at 7:30.
Oh, yeah, because all the black people are early
And
for the shows.
and that guy goes, Rushion was like, so what do you do? I was like, I do comedy. I was like, I want to go up. He's like, okay. I'm like, cool. You want me to help you? So I started helping him set up the chairs. He would set up the chairs and the table and everything. And I went up there and I did the flood people. It killed. And then it killed again. And then about 2 weeks later, they did a competition. And it's funny because there was 10 of us competing. I was the only Hispanic. Well, all the 9 comics, they all brought family. So when they would go up, the family would applaud. What about this or what about this one? But my set rocked the whole, you know what I mean? So when they say, what about Juan? everybody clapped for me. It was like
You
overwhelming.
didn't have any family there?
Nuh-uh. It was all black people. And what do you call it?
You won it?
Yeah, I won it, and the winner gets a paid gig for the week.
There at that club.
Yeah, at the club. So that's when Rashawn says, "Okay, I booked a guy that you're gonna work with. His name is Carlos Mencia. Actually, that's not even his name, but it's Carlos Mencia, and you need to work with him and stay close to him because he's gonna be a millionaire."
And
So-
Carlos was what, like 5 years in?
Yeah. And Carlos, I went up there my first set in front of Carlos and bombed. I tried to do new material. I kept trying to change my material. And Rushan would tell me, quit trying to. This was at the Ramada Inn. This was like 4 months in, 5 months in. So I'm like, I kept changing my material. Like, no, just this one. It's not the same people. And I tried some new material and it didn't work. So Ned, and Carlos was like, watch this. And he went up there and fucking blazed it. Like, he blazed it. I mean, so hard that I had to tell my wife, you got to see this guy. We had to pawn some stuff to get a babysitter so she can go. And she saw him. She's like, oh, my God.
What do you mean, to buy a ticket to go see it?
Yeah, just to go see it. We had to get a baby.
Couldn't get a guest spot? You couldn't get, you couldn't
No,
get
I
any
was
guest
getting
list?
paid. That was my first working weekend. I was getting paid $200 for the whole week. So, but Carlos just fucking,
Killed it, huh?
yeah. And I said, how much money did they pay you for this? He's like, $2,000. I'm like, 2,000? Like, oh. and then that's
But 2,000 and 29 years ago
oh, yeah.
is equivalent of about 10,000.
It's a lot, bro. And I said, you know what? If I can make 800 to 1,000 a week talking, I'm good. Because, comics don't put a bar. They just want to keep. I was just talking to that with Ali Sadiq right now. I was like, how much money do you want to make? Like, do you want to be like Steve and stack up millions and just there? Like, how much money do you want to make in this game? What do you want to do? What kind of life?
Enough.
He said,
is what it is.
He
Enough.
goes. He looked at me. He goes, that's a good question. You know what, Juan? I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm like, I like that. Yeah, because some people say, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make millions. I'm like, bro, just
Doesn't have to be millions. It just has to be enough.
You know how many comics we know, Edward, that are millionaires that are miserable, sad, depressed.
Oh, yeah. I know some miserable millionaires.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, what do you call it? And then me and Vance, saw me at the hip hop. Like, I started performing at the hip hop, and Vance wanted to talk to me.
You used to hang out there, Vance?
No, I'll tell you how it started. There's, always.
Okay.
two
Oh,
sides.
wait. Hold on. Oh, cut. Let's hear what happens
give
on
me a
Vance.
lighter, dude. I like to hear
There's
this.
always
Let's hear
two
Vance's
sides to a
version.
story.
Okay.
All right.
So Vance was walking down the street and he wandered into the hip hop. And what happened then, Vance?
Now let's reverse that, back that up. too.
Now what
Now,
happened?
you already booking people, right?
I was actually, I was coming down from San Antonio. I was living in San Antonio, so I was, just messing around, and I had some cats from San Antonio that's young dudes moving comics. So I heard about on Thursday night they had a show. On Thursday,
Like
what was
Apollo-
that?
Apollo night.
Apollo
Man.
That's what it was. Apollo
in
night
Houston?
in Houston.
Sold
so I used
out.
to drive from San Antonio to Houston on Thursday.
Man, people would come from Dallas, from all over.
Yeah, to
it was
see the
sold
Apollo.
out every Thursday
Where would they have the
But-
Apollo night at?
at the hip hop.
At the
At the hip-hop,
Yeah,
okay.
it was a comedy club. So
And Apollo, the actual Apollo, or they were just mimicking the Apollo?
No, they were just saying Apollo night.
it was Apollo
Okay,
night.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay, I thought
yeah,
you meant-
yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
so-
I thought you mean actually because the show, the Apollo was big back then too.
Yeah, it was a mimic. It was So,
They Rob Jenkins did.
but the real draw was this dude named to me was this dude named Terry Gross.
Yeah, I know Terry.
Terry was the Sandman.
The Sand, that's what he called himself?
Well, no, that's the role he had was because you know about the Apollo, right? If you get on, and if you're performing, and then people start booing you, then this dude comes in and kind of like
Gets you off of it.
sweeps
Sweeps you
But
off.
he,
Yeah.
but
Sweeps
he,
you off,
but he
yeah.
dances.
But he was dancing, But one time though, Terry came off and the dude was getting booed, but he came out as Stevie Wonder. He had the braids, the beads, the long braids, and the beads, and the glasses, and he was coming out like this, blind, and he walked straight off. He walked straight off the stage and just fell, man, in the crowd. He erupted, dog. It was just crazy. He was trying to find the dude, man. So it was that kind of night, man. And everybody, funny was talent. So I was there one night, and my guys, they never went up because
That was
Houston.
intimidating ass
Oh
crowd. Huh?
man, but
Terry will fuck you up, huh?
But you had to have some talent to go
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
So there was plenty of cats that got some, good grades. So one time I saw this Mexican dude going up, man, and he rocked it. I was like, damn, this Mexican rocked all these black folks, man. I mean, they stood up and hollered, so it was like after the show, you hang out, so I was hanging out and I was kept looking for him. All the comics is out there and I never found. I said, damn. So I went like 3 or 4 weeks.
And he'd be there every week?
Be there every week. He would come on, he'd come on early. He'd just go on stage and come off, and then I'll be trying to catch him. After I said, well, I'm going to catch him because I wanted to see the show, man. The show was so hot. So never was. So I started asking the other comics, man. Terry, I asked them all them guys. I said, man, where's that Mexican dude, man? That dude named Juan, where's him? He said, so I said, you got his phone number? So nobody gave me, nah, man, we don't even know his phone number or nothing. So
Yeah, had no phone, huh?
I thought they was hating on him, man. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought they was hating on him. I was like, okay, so I tell you what. I said, so when the show started, Juan went in, okay, and did the show. And then I said, well, I'm going to sit in the hallway. I didn't even go in. I waited in the hallway because I wanted to catch him. So I didn't find out how I was missing him, man. Juan would come in, and I would see him. He would come in, and then there was a lady behind him, which I didn't know at the time. That was his wife. And then like maybe 2 other of his partners, Mexicans, just walked down. It was all black, man. Just walked down in the middle. He'd get on the stage, come onto the stage, and they walk right back out. But I didn't know that he was walking there right out the club. And to come to find out, man, that the bus driver, Juan would catch the bus to the club. They would catch the bus, and the dude would circle around and pick Juan up so he can do the club and take him back.
The bus driver would circle around the block,
The
or
bus
he wouldn't
driver
even stay there?
He would pick me up at my apartment. That was a dead end to turn around, pick me up. My wife was with me a couple times, but it was mostly me by myself. But he would pick me up and take me all the way to the club, which was in downtown Houston, and then keep driving till the dude dropped me off, and he would have 30 minutes to turn around, and then he would come pick me up. Because Rashawn, he didn't know that Rashawn stopped me, the owner of the club, and said, hey, there's people that want to see you after the show. Why do you leave? Because he called me at the door. Before he called me, Rashawn called me at the door. I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, where you going? Like, I got to go. He's like, Rashawn's rule, like, no. There's people that want to see you. They want to talk to you. They want to take pictures. They want autographs. You can't just leave. I'm like, I got to go, bro. I got a bus. The Metro's waiting on me right now. He looked at me like, the Metro's waiting for you outside. Like, yeah. So we took a few steps. He opened the door, and that dude was right there. Like, come on, Juan. Like, I got to go.
How'd you know him, though?
Well, because that was the route. That was the route.
But you just
Because-
got to talking to him, and he got cool with you?
Well, when I said drop me off at the club, because he would pass, I said drop me off right here. And he's like, okay. I said, I'm going to do comedy, man. I'm a comedian, bro. And I'm going to go up there like, for real? Like, yeah. And then one time he saw me because I was in there. He waited. There was nobody in the bus. And he got out to go get me. And he saw me on stage. So he saw me get the standing O and stuff. So we became friends, man. And he would pick me up from my apartments, dude. Like that, from my apartments, I'd go to the bus stop and he would pick me up and take me there. And I had to leave. I had to go because, I had to go. But
And how long did you do that for?
I did that, man, for about 2 months.
And then you stopped that, Vance? Or when you saw that, you said...
Well, when I finally stopped him and then, found him, I told him that, because I have started doing comedy, and I started promoting at the NCO clubs, which is on the military base.
On the bases, yeah.
On the bases. So I had a show. I started out in Fort Sam in San Antonio. So I said, man, I want you to come do a show for us, man. And so I put together Reginald Ballard, who's bruh man
from Martin.
And at that time, it was BET and Martin. They were hitting, so when they did BET Comic View, everybody get to be seen. Juan rocked Comic View. So we, I put a tour together, and we started going around the country doing all the military bases.
How many times did you do Comic View?
11.
Comic View did 11 times?
Yes. Yep.
Man, there's some stories with Comic View, man.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean stories? Like the first time you did it?
The first time I did it, I was on
What
stage.
year was that?
Was 92. The first time I did it was DL was hosting.
D.O. Hughley?
Yeah, and it was a competition. And then it was JB Smooth and Pierre, which they're still in the game, relevant, doing things. We're boys. And I killed it. Carlos Mencia took me, bought me some clothes because I took the Greyhound to LA to go film the thing. It only paid $150. So Ned picked me up. He's like, "What are you gonna wear tonight for the show?" I'm like,
I'm in it.
he's like, "Hey man, you mind if I hook you up?" And he took me to Reebok because he was sponsored by Reebok, and they gave me some shoes and some shirts. And then he went and bought me some pants. You know what I mean? So try them on. Let's see what they look like. Nah, those too big. It didn't. So he looked out for me, took me there.
Did he get you that deal
No,
to do that show?
No, he was just happy because I had already worked with him in Houston.
How did you get the Comic View gig?
They saw me. They had an audition
And then they just, how did they get a hold of you though? Who did they get a hold of to get a hold of you? The club? Because you didn't have a phone. He couldn't get a hold of you. He had to go catch you.
This is how easy it was. Rashawn says, "We having auditions next week for BET.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be here." Okay. And I went. And I did my show and I left. And then Monday
He said, you made it?
Yeah. He goes, "You made it." I called him up and he's like, "You made it." He goes, "What's your number?" I'm like, "Well, you can call me at this number." I was like, "Look, a lot of people gonna answer this, but just say
It
Juan."
was a payphone?
Yeah, at the apartments. But everybody, hey, you know what I mean? BB! And BB would come out, Ricky! Whatever, Melissa! Like, everybody would use that phone and stuff. So I said, he goes, "Well, what is this?" I said, it's a payphone, man, at the apartment. Are you serious? Because Rashawn would tell me, like, the first 4 times that I would kill his club, he's like, "Why?" You know, he booked me. He goes, "Why are you wearing those pants?" Because I had a pair of pants and they had like 3 holes in them. But it was cool. Everybody's wearing those back then. And he's like, "Why?" He's like, "Why?"
The waist and the 2 legs?
Yeah, he's like, why are you wearing those? Like, I'm like, "Well, these are the only pants I got." He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I only got 1 pair of pants, bro. Like, my wife washed them, they clean." He goes, "You got 1 pair of pants?" I'm like, "Yeah." So he goes, "I'm gonna give you some money and go buy you something." So he gave me $150, and I went to the store, I bought these little boots, little jeans, little shirt, and with a hat. He was like, "Man, I like your style, man. Look at you." And then I felt good.
You
too.
bought boots?
I bought like the Timberlands, whatever.
Oh, those
yeah. So
rapper boots.
Yeah, I fucking went up there, and they were in style back then, and it was a hip hop thing. And I killed that shit. It was good. So I did BET, and then the first show, they started kind of booing. JB Smooth won, and people started, oh.
They started booing you?
No, when they announced
the winner,
they just started saying, "Oh,
were
no,
you there,
man."
Vance?
No, he wasn't at that one. He was like, "Oh, no, man. Oh, man, they took it for that Mexican, this, that, whatever." So Carlos got upset, and he was
where did y'all do this at?
In L.A. I took the bus from Houston to L.A.
And in front of a big crowd?
Well, yeah, it was BET, dude. It was,
but what's up, like 200, 300 people in those crowds? And did they use the same room all the time?
It was like 400 people. Nah, but they did for years. It was 400 people. It was filmed at the Normandy Casino.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was the same setup. And DL would just change clothes and bring 3 different comics. So they would film like 20 shows or 10 shows in one day. Like, it was nothing. Like, it was nothing. So I did it. And then, Ned started cussing out DL. "Man, fuck y'all. You see, man, that's some bullshit, bro. You know who won? They booed him there." And the people were like, "Oh, this and that, whatever." And DL ran all the way outside, followed me, following Carlos. I was following Ned, and then, or Carlos Mencia. People won't get confused.
Yeah.
I followed him because he said, "Let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here. That's fucked up. They robbed you." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, bro. Because they put makeup on me. They took care of me. They fed us. They gave us money. And it was, we were all excited, dude. It was a fun time.
Yeah, it was the first time you had been through that shit, huh?
Yeah, I was like, dude. And then DL goes, "Juan, I'm really, really sorry." I'm like, "No, it's cool." It's like, "But is that going to air? Like, am I going to be on TV?" He's like, "Hell yeah. And you're going to come back next year." And then that's when Vance, I said, "Hey, man, well, they want me back." He want to do it because
it was a contest they were having every year?
Yeah, it was a contest. And then, man, look, let's get into it. Look, this is some good shit right here. Okay, I did it, and then I did it again, and then I did it again,
You did it 3 times.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, look, Juan, we know you can do 30 minutes because if you win, you get a 30-minute special. They're like, look, Juan, we know you can do 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, so what's that mean? Like, you got a good chance of winning. I'm like, for real? Like, yeah, because you're going up, and these guys are fairly new to the game.
And you were 3 years in.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm looking at them like, okay, y'all, it's like kind of like they're going to give me kind of like, I'm like, but I got to rock them though, right? He goes, just do your thing. So I went out there and sat down. Us 3 comics, we got our makeup on. Good luck, man. Good luck, bro. They said, y'all
It was
okay?
only 3 of y'all?
Yeah, it was 3 of us. But there's a show going on. We're on standby. Okay? So I'm sitting there, and then they announce the winner, people clapping, and then I just see chaos backstage. Like, people with headphones. I'm like, give me that shit. What's going on? What the fuck? And I'm like, damn. And the 3 comedians walked off stage, and they walked right by us. They were all pissed off and shit. And I'm like, what's going on? And then Gilbert Esquivel and Joey Medina walk around, and they're like, what's up? And I'm like, what's going on, dude? There's chaos. There's a lot of shit going on. I'm like, what happened? And then Gilbert goes, you don't know who won? I'm like, no. Who won? Like, you did. I'm like, what? He's like, you did. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then that's when the BET dude, the main dude, came and grabbed me and took me to the office without Vance. Like, I didn't go to school, bro. Vance is the one that told me you need to talk different on the rides. Juan, you can't talk like that because you're going to make it. You're going to be on TV. And I was like, I don't give a fuck, bro. That's how I talk. If they don't like it, fuck them, bro. And I was.
So what happened? I don't understand.
So I went up there, and they said, you won. And like, what? So then the BET, because nobody knew what the fuck was going on. People were getting fired right there. You're fired. You're fired. and they grabbed me. Yeah. So I was like, what happened? He's like, I told Vance, what's going on? He's like, Juan, first they called my name out. See, but we don't know that. I don't know that yet because now I'm talking to this dude. And Vance wants to come in, and I want Vance to come in because he's, articulate. He's way smarter than me, bro. And I was ghetto as fuck. I'm like, hey, bro, like, what happened? What happened? He's like, look, man, they called your name by mistake. So everybody think it was a setup. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, they said your name. They said Juan Villareal, so you can't go up. I'm like, hold up, bro. We just rented a car. My mama let me borrow some money to get up here. That's like $300, bro. And y'all kind of said that I can do 30 minutes. I don't know what that means. I'm just saying. They were telling me that I'm going to get a 30-minute special, and I would have been on the same level as Cedric and all them fuckers, right? Because that's how they, okay, so I'm like, so what's going to happen? Because I was going to win. He goes, we're going to pay you the $150, and because they pay you one. I said, what about the second show? Because I was going to beat them too. Like, okay, we'll give you $300. I'm like, damn, man, we rented a car and drove 26 hours, and we got to drive back. Okay, we'll give you another $500 for that. I was like, man, like, I don't know, bro. Cause I just want to go up. I changed my name and he said, so dude, I'm telling this guy, well, look, you know what? I just gonna go tell him that y'all gonna let me win. I can do 30 minutes. Like, hold on, Juan. so I'm like, look, man, I don't know. If y'all just give me like another 1,000, maybe another 1,500 or something. I don't know.
Kept going up like
man. Okay, look, check this out. So Vance is in the hallway waiting for me. So I said, okay, this is that. So we came up with a number. Okay, it was, you know what I mean? It was a few thousand. Okay, like that. So I'm like, okay, cool. And they said, okay, write him a check. And they said, like, nah, I don't need no check. Like, no, like, wow, we ain't got that kind of cash. Oh, y'all gotta have some kind of petty cash. Man, people started digging in their wallet. People had, they came up with a lot. And then they said, look, take this. We're gonna send you more money so y'all can come back. And then, you know what I mean? And we'll take care of you. And I'm like, okay,
who is telling you this?
So the main motherfucker in the office is like
from BET?
The BET, one of the main dudes. So I walk out the door. He's like, Juan, I said, Vance, let's go. He's like, hold on, Juan. No, hell no. Let's take care of this. I said, Vance, let's go. No, hold on, Juan. We got to talk to her. Like, they're going to call you. They came out and said, we're going to talk to you, Vance. I said, Vance, let's go. Because they told me, please leave. Please leave. So we got in the car. I told Vance, look, I showed him. He's like, what happened? I said, dude, they told me they called out my name the wrong time, and I can't do it. I told them we spent a lot of money, and we rented a car. We had to get a room and food, and man's like, well, so I said, I said, look, if y'all don't give me some, I'm gonna go tell them that y'all, this shit is all rigged. And he's like, Juan, you extorted them? That's extortion. I didn't even know what the fuck that meant at the time. Like, what? That ain't extortion. That's dealing, bro. You should have been in there. You my manager. He's like, Juan.
So they just sent.
I'm like, what happened? He goes like, Juan, when they announced the winner, they couldn't say it. And Esther Rowe, who played, you know what I mean, on Red Fox, Sanford and Son, she was, you know what I mean?
Oh, the old lady?
Yeah, fish eye fool. Okay, she couldn't say my name. So they gave her the envelope to announce. There's 3 black guys on stage, and she's going, Juan Villareal. Juan. Vance goes, Juan. When she said that, I just went, he just said, oh, no.
Yeah.
And then, Juan. So then Ronaldo Ray goes, give me that, I'll help you out, girl. Y'all give it up for Juan Villareal. And them 3 black dudes just looked at each other like, so I was in the back. That's what Gilbert ran back today. Hey, guess who won? You did. What? And then they just dragged me and took me away. So Vance was explaining that to me, like that's what happened.
And they were just going through their round. Is what happened? Those 3 black dudes.
They got it switched. I don't know, man.
They said everybody's name is in the envelopes. They just gave them the wrong envelope because they were like, oh man, it was rigged.
So what do you? Let me ask you this.
They were
what
like,
do you think would have happened if everything would have just gone right? And then you would have just been announced as the winner at the right time.
They were giving out development
Your
deals.
career would have been different.
It would. Yeah. I mean, they were giving out $200,000-$300,000 right there. Like $300,000. Come to LA, stay here. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. And we're gonna put you in movies. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that.
Vance,
but he didn't want none of that. He wanted to go back and have fun, like travel around the military bases and doing shows and build up his.
Well, I mean, that's fun too, though. But I mean, that sucks. It's some little bullshit, little hiccup. It was a little hiccup in the game.
Yeah, because I was.
It was a fucking just a
like,
little speed bump in the road.
It was about a $4,500 hiccup.
Yeah. But
George, I was like this. Look, let's go.
Damn. So what happened after that? You kept going back to do BET.
Well, they took me back. Vance, they sent them the money. Vance picked me up, and then we drove back to LA.
The next year, it's a year later.
Yeah, a year later, and
what are you doing in between these years?
Oh, as soon as your show airs,
you're ready. Everyone's ready to book you.
The next day, Vance would get all the calls.
Really?
Because by that time, Vance we were established. He was my manager, and Vance had the same number.
We used to have I put a tour together with like I said, him and Brudman. Chucky Ducky.
Wasn't Cat Williams on the road with y'all?
Well, we did some shows with Cat.
Okay.
Cat, brought Cat to.
I did a show with Chucky Ducky.
Chucky
to quack quack. Chucky Ducky quack quack.
He was selling out all over the country, dude.
Yeah, he's funny. He's a cool dude.
I love him, dude. His family.
Yeah, Juan was the funniest though. Juan was.
Yeah, because
you were headlining this tour. No, because those dudes were way longer in the game, right? When you came in.
Tell them how much you were paying me, Vance.
How much were you paying him, Vance?
Juan did good.
No. I'm making on tour, Vance.
How much were you paying Juan, Vance? Since he's asking, huh? All of a sudden, what's going on here?
No,
hey,
man.
Josh, man, your headphones are fucked up, man. Hold on, let's start over. Vance.
$75.
$75, Vance.
But look.
Look. Hey, dude.
We're looking. Hold on. Go ahead.
I mean, for
explain to me.
That's what it was. I mean,
what was his spot? He was the opener.
Huh?
Yeah.
You were the opener.
Yeah. And but that was the base. You know how like Jordan. You ever seen Jordan contract? Jordan didn't make a lot during his NBA contract.
Was he the opener?
But wait a minute, he started as an opener. He started out, but
$75.
But what the thing is his endorsements, build up his income. So Juan would make 75 for the show.
And then sell all his merch.
Well,
Did you have merch back then?
By the time he got it home, he had about $1,500, $2,000 worth of
stolen property.
I was straight jacking in my body. I didn't know.